Welcome to Entreprogrammers Podcast, the podcast for developreneurs, the podcast where you get to be a fly on the wall listening to real conversations of three developers trying to tackle the challenges they face as entrepreneurs.
You are loud enough.
We're live.
All right.
Still doing sound checks.
Yeah.
Check. 1, 2, 3, 4.
How's it going?
All right.
I just keep seeing inside politics, senior officials, blah, 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 of a big White House behind man.
Yeah, where are you?
I'm at University Club here, and I'm eating my favorite Friday breakfast here. So
Nice.
Fridays
Awesome.
are the days I come here. Yeah.
Very cool. I'll try not
All
to
right.
get distracted by inside politics.
If I can- yeah, I know.
There you
No,
go.
okay.
Are you missing it already, Chuck?
Already, yep.
Now I want that guitar.
That's better. That's
Man,
better.
can't
I'll
win.
just go listen to Sean Hannity when I'm done.
That's subliminal messaging, trying to get you guys to watch more of CNN.
Oh, please no. Oh man.
All right, so where do we start? Yeah, I'm just going whole hog on YouTube, as I was talking to you guys last time as well. So that's exciting times for me, I guess. What?
So you're bumping up to 2 times a week?
Yeah, I did 2 times a week. I'm probably gonna try to go 3. Let's see. I mean, the animation, because I do animation videos quite a bit.
Okay.
They take a lot more effort, and I'm in the process of hiring, which is the biggest pain in my life.
It always is.
Yeah. So until the hiring happens, I cannot ramp it up. But then I realized I have this vault of 9 animations that I never published that I was initially planning to put on my membership site, but I'm like, no, I don't need to. They should go on the freestyle. I mean, they should basically be used for collaborations and all that stuff. So
Nice.
there's a lot of great book summaries in there that will get used pretty soon. So yeah, 2 to 3. Let me see. I'll probably get up to 3.
What's your how long are your videos typically then?
Anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Some of them are like a couple of them are really long. The one I've done with John, well, that's split video, but it's still like 20 minutes long.
Right.
Those
Okay.
yeah,
The
10
animated
minutes.
ones, what are what are you doing with those? Are they book summaries as well?
Yeah,
And then so they're like whiteboard? Are they like okay, so you're actually
whiteboard, book summaries.
you do the voiceover and then you have an
I do the
illustrator.
voiceover, yeah.
Okay.
It's in fact the most effective in terms of speed. Once I hire someone, is more effective than being on camera, because I get to use a better mic when I'm doing the voiceover, and not only that, I can plan better, and actually the recording time is lesser compared to being on camera, because everything is planned out, everything is done. There are no retakes, there's no stupid editing and all that stuff. So it's good. It's just the hiring and getting someone trained to be able to do exactly the way we do things.
Mhm.
That's the hard part. That's the time-consuming part.
One interesting thing about that is your face is not on it, right?
Yeah.
So if you're looking to eventually kind of step out of the brand, then that gives you the option to do that.
Exactly. So, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's my long-term ambition, anyways, to be able to run it without me being the brand. Yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of benefits to that. But hiring is the bane of my existence right now. Yeah. I was telling, did I tell you guys, like, I'm trying to, I know John doesn't like it, but there's Focus at Will. These guys have a list of 1 million people. So they're saying if we do initially, because I met this guy at University Club who I know from previously, who's now an affiliate manager for Focus at Will.
Okay.
And Focus at Will, you guys know, like it's a music.
Yep.
No. So it's a one of those
It's focus music.
Yeah, plays
Okay.
all this.
So it's music that helps you focus.
okay.
And they said they'll do a reciprocal mailing just to test out the offer. I send their offer, they test ours. But if it works, they will extend it out to their much bigger list if they get a good enough response. And when I was showing him yesterday, I was like, yeah, you guys can probably get up to like gross $6 EPC, maybe even better if we put in bumps and upsells, and we get up to 8 or 9, and $3 commission. He was pretty excited because he was telling me how they were just doing right now, maybe this week or today or maybe Monday, they're
Okay.
doing a mailing for this new tropics, you know, the brain tropic, new tropics, whatever that shit is. They're doing a mailing for them, and they're just making $5 per opt-in. $5 per opt-in, not $5 per click. $5 per opt-in. That's all they're making on that mailing. And I'm like, you know, I can already see that we're gonna make nobody's gonna get 50% on an opt-in anyways. So we're gonna do better on our offer than what you can do with that offer. So it's pretty excited about that.
Nice.
I mean, I know John will give me a hard time for this, but it doesn't really take that much effort from my side for doing this kind of stuff compared to anything else, because it's affiliate stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, as long as like the thing is like, you know, my only contention with it is that you need to be growing the business more than focusing on making money right now. Like the biggest thing is to grow the channel and grow the audience. So, but if it doesn't take a lot of distraction from what you're doing, then it makes sense. Or if it allows.
Think about it this way as well. If we do well and they mail it out to the larger list, that grows the business exponentially.
That's true. In that case, it's a big enough audience.
Triple, quadruple the business in terms of the email list, and like everything grows.
Right.
Yeah,
tremendously,
I mean,
right?
In this case, it makes more sense, I think, because it's a big enough audience. Because if they send out to 1 million subscribers, then then I agree. But
yeah,
the smaller ones, it's just not worth. I mean,
yeah, I'm not even pursuing any like small deals right now. But that one is like totally, because the guy is right now there. Who knows how long he will be an affiliate manager for that, right? But he's my buddy right now. He's there.
2 things. When you do this, if it goes well, get a video testimonial from them.
Okay.
And then number 2, ask for referral. Yep. Because if you can get, because those guys run in different circles. Yeah. Like when you have 1 million people on the mailing list, you're not going to, you're not going to microcomp for the most part. So they'll be like outside of those will be completely, they might know people at like, Agora and like some of those really big places. Yeah. So
it's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I mean, you're basically getting paid to grow the business doing this. So as long as it's not small potatoes, small time players, then.
Yeah, I mean, literally, they can double my list size overnight. They can. There's so many different things that can happen if this goes to according to plan. And he was saying like they're getting approached by people, like they're trying to figure out. They're trying to find offers, and the last offer that they were looking at was this couple who sell sex education, like adult sex education, like teaching guys and girls how to get laid or something like that. And they were like, I can't believe we're gonna run any offer like this. Like, there's no way they can run our offer. We're not gonna run their offer because they have those guys have a very, very big list, like 500,000 people. So they're like, hey, let's do it together. And they're like, nah. You guys can mail ours. We cannot mail yours. There's nothing about focus in this situation.
Oh my gosh!
They're like,
there's so many jokes. There's so many jokes. Let's not touch any of them though. Okay.
The guys were like the couple who sells that program, the sex program. They're like, no, there's so much focus involved in what you blah blah blah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So another thing you might consider too is potentially retargeting, because you're going to get a lot of clicks from this, right? So it would be good to at least capture, like, make sure you have retargeting, like make sure you have AdWords retargeting set up, and so that you can get you could show people, you could retarget all these people on YouTube if you have AdWords set up. So that would help grow the YouTube channel. And then the other thought I had. Oh yeah, the other thing is just to set your expectations. I would expect that with 1 million people on their list, their open rates are probably in the 5 to 10% range.
10%, yeah.
Yeah, is that what they said? 10%.
That's what I'm expecting. They didn't say, but
yeah,
that's
just you have to scale your expectations because it's not. It's not. It's a different. Yeah, it's a different scale.
Yeah, I mean, it depends if they print their list or not, right? Because
true.
For example, like we would have a list of probably 130,000, I'd say. If we'd be
around 10 to 12% open rate probably.
Right.
So.
Yeah. I'm prepared. I mean, yeah. Anything they do on top of what we do as reciprocal is all gravy for me at that point, right? It's all free money, free add to the list, free everything, right? We're just doing this together. So whatever they want to do at that point, if it serves their purpose, they will mail it out to everyone. If it doesn't serve their purpose, maybe they won't. That's cool.
Nice. Well, that's a pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot. I mean, you could go to their competitors too. Like, I bet you there's a bunch of apps like that you could just go down the list. Probably some, like, there's like the meditation apps too. Like, what's the one that Tim Ferriss promotes?
Clear or
there's Clear, and then there's
it must be Calm. Clear is Scientology. Is like,
okay, yeah. Calm, Calm is the one, and then there's
Headspace.
Yeah, Headspace, that's the one. Yeah. And I bet you they have a similar size list.
Yeah. Or at the you could also like make a collection of summaries on books on sex, and then you can get their contact that other.
There you go.
Oh man,
dude, I remember running into that couple one time when I was at a copywriting seminar called, John Carlton, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so I went to his copywriting seminar back in the days. And there was this guy called Martin Hake who was like in this pickup community. I don't know what these guys do, but these guys were just like sitting there talking about like pickup. And this girl, like this tall blonde girl, she just stops by. She's like, "Oh, you're in that? We have this product on sex and this. I think we could do some collaboration together." And I remember that girl, and I was like, when my affiliate friend was talking, I'm like, "Is this tall blonde girl who's part of this?" He's like, yeah, that's the one. I'm like, "Oh shit, these guys are hustlers."
Man.
Yeah. Let's see. So that's I guess the update from my side right now.
Nice.
Let's see how this goes.
I decided to start doing some series on YouTube, so we'll see how that goes. I think that's what I'm thinking was I did a series on how to start an online business. I'm like in video 7, I think, I recorded of probably 10. And then my idea is that like at every video, I'm pointing back to the first video and saying, "Hey, click on the playlist to make sure that you watch."
I can't believe you just stole. I can't believe you just stole my idea. I can't believe you're doing this, John. Because I'm doing the exact same thing. This will be fun.
I don't think we didn't even really discuss this. I didn't really steal your idea. I think we must have simultaneously
just messing around with you. But it'll be fun. It'll be fun because I'm doing the exact same thing.
It makes sense to me. I was thinking about it more, and I was like, actually, I was doing some coaching, and I was telling the guy to do this, and I was like, I should do this. I should actually make it. So and also I was having trouble coming up with topics. So I was like, okay, I just come up with one topic, and I can make 7 videos or 10 videos on it, and then just point them back. And then the idea is like it's kind of like casting this wide net. So if people come in on any one of those videos, then they're going to get sucked into the funnel of watching all the videos. So we'll see how that works. But
so John, while you're doing it, maybe I will have you come on my channel as well, and we'll record some videos from that perspective. And we'll talk about books, because that's what I like to do. So
right, okay.
You can, I mean, you're doing what you're doing, but maybe you should come, we'll do some recordings where we have books involved, and that are part of the series on my end.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
So it's like a crossover. It's like
I mean, I can always say, hey, by the way, go to John's channel to watch more of how to do this, so that way the traffic goes to his channel, and but it'll be fun anyways, because talking back and forth is so much better in terms of teaching, I think, compared to just one person being on camera, because it's very interactive and you get new ideas that you can't just by yourself.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's much easier to produce the content that way, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try and let's get you on my channel for a few of these shows. It'll be fun.
Okay, sure.
John, where are you at these days in subscribers? I haven't looked lately.
John or me?
John. Well, both of you guys, actually.
John is just 10 times me.
About 145,000, I think.
Nice.
So closing in on that 150 mark. But it's definitely slowing down since switching, or it's 146,000. It's slowing down, like the subscriber growth rate is slowing down since I stopped doing programming videos, because those ones are more searchable, right? They're more searched. So it's a harder, it's weird. It's like the growth is going to be a little bit more difficult in some ways, but it's going to be less capped. So eventually I imagine that it'll start working the other way, where the growth will be easier. Being non-programming related, because the audience will be larger. But.
John, I actually think that you just need to do, I mean, I know you and Rodrigo are doing SEO, but I think you just need to find sets of questions and problems that are SEO friendly, because I think there's tons of them out there.
Well, that's why I did the series on how to start an online business. Because that will, and then I also started looking at like some fitness channels, like some of their top videos, and just basically creating a video of the same title, essentially, just to answer the question myself instead of. So I think those are probably those are going to be the ones that are going to generate the high search, because I know that they already generate high search because people already have high number of views on those topics.
Right.
So that was kind of my general strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's just a matter of finding the right questions. I don't think they're necessarily less.
I mean, the problem is now you went from very specific to very general, so it will take some time to get the traction again, right? You've gone from simple programmer, which is very specific,
right?
To now John Sanmez, which is all personal development stuff. It's pretty big. It's so big that people don't even know what to expect.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, the content was already mostly that, so it's not as huge of a change, but the naming, right, is a big thing. So
yeah, I mean, someone who doesn't know John Sanmez, they don't know why they should subscribe as easily compared to someone who doesn't know simple programmer, and they're like, hey, simple programmer, I'm a programmer, I can sign up. But someone who doesn't know John Sanmez, that's a tough one. Like, why? Who is
exactly?
John?
Yeah.
John's famous.
John's a celebrity.
That's right.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's the new struggle of the
exactly
brand. Like the personal brand building again when you're that big.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's an uphill climb for sure, but it's got more momentum than I guess than just starting over from zero. So
you anyways use a lot of personal stories, right? So it's part of the experience for guys when they come subscribe. And that's what makes the personal brand personal.
Yeah.
Where are you, Manny?
18,000.
17.7.
Yeah, 18K.
Nice.
But I'm hoping I'm going to do a video with Antonio from Real Men, Real Style. They have 1.7 million subscribers. Yeah. So if I do one of my animation videos that is like that does that like I'll probably do 5-10 iterations of it just so that I'll target that we get millions of views on it. And if we do that, it could blow up the channel very, very, very rapidly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, we clicked over 400 reviews on the book.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
gunning
Wow.
for 500
Nice.
now.
On Amazon.
Yep.
What's the average rating now? 4.5?
That's a sore spot. John, I'll let you tell that story.
It was just a few days ago, or like maybe a week ago, it was 4.8, but someone left a 1-star review and it went down to 4.7, which makes it 4-star or 4.5 stars instead of 5 on the thing. So even though five new reviews came in and they're all 5-star, but it's still not enough.
Yep.
I think it needs maybe 2 more 5-star reviews and it should knock it back up to the 4.8 average. So
4.8.
Is that like? Is that like when somebody says something mean to you, it affects you 5 or 6 times more than when somebody says something to you?
Yes.
Yes, it's the one refund that will spoil the 100 sales and satisfied customers.
Yeah.
Well, the more positive you get, the more these negatives become irrelevant. That's part of the law of averages too.
Yep. Yeah. So when we have 1,000, it won't matter so much.
Yeah. Well, it may work some on recency too. I've seen some rating systems work that way. So as time goes on and you get more positive ratings, it may just become less relevant. Anyway.
That's true. That's a good point.
So
Yeah,
Amazon is
because
just not doing a weighted average here.
What's that?
they might be putting their thumb on the scale, which doesn't sound at all like Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon doesn't really interfere. They just
They do this kind of stuff all the time. I wouldn't be surprised if Chuck's right, because I've seen with reviews, it used to be that the most helpful reviews would get pinned at the top, right? Yeah. And because we had a problem for a while there where somebody like had posted a 1-star review and then a bunch of other losers came and upvoted it. This was on Soft Skills. We had like 30 or 40 upvotes on it, and it was pinned at the top. So it was like this 1-star review. And so we did a risky thing, and I sent an email to the whole list and said, hey, look what this idiot said. And they all downvoted it, and it disappeared. But we could have gotten in big trouble for that. But
with Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon doesn't like that. That's considered manipulation of the rankings. Basically, Amazon and Google both, like, they set their policies are so draconian that they just like they draw the line like all the way over there because they know that people are going to walk. People are going to, whatever they tell you can't do, people are going to exceed that. And if they set the line far enough away, then they'll keep people back, from doing anything too shady. But yeah, so technically asking your friend, me asking you to go leave a review or upvote it is manipulating the rankings, and it's technically not allowed. So it's actually, for me to ask you to link to my site on your site is against Google's policies.
Wow.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, like, obviously everybody does this stuff, but they just they make the policies so extreme that they can pretty much do whatever they want because everybody's going to be in violation of them.
Every one of these social constructs eventually fails, right? Like, you start off, like, you look at Twitter, right? And Twitter is like, oh, okay, you should follow people who, like, the whole concept of Twitter was follow people that you're interested in, right? And then it became like, well, you got to like follow and unfollow people to get them to follow you back to grow your following, right? Yeah. So then it became automated, and they're fighting this, and they're like, no, it has to be legit. Like, you can't use a tool. and then people are manually clicking it in India and whatever. So it doesn't matter. And then the same thing with Amazon ratings. When they first came out, Amazon ratings were good. And then, and now, like, it doesn't matter. Like, if you look, I used to be able to reliably search Amazon and look at, sort things by rating. and determine if something was good or not by rating. But it's bullshit now. You look at it and you're like, no, that's not the best product, even though it has the best ratings. The same thing happens with every single thing, right? You know, so it's
marketers ruin everything.
Yeah. Well, if someone has a way to make money, they're gonna figure out how. Same thing with ads, right? Facebook ads and Google ads and whatnot. So it's all just, yeah.
I forget where I was going with this, but oh yeah. So I was just saying. So they seem to have changed. Amazon seems to have changed the way that they're doing the reviews now, and now they seem to show the most recent ones to top versus showing, at least they were a couple months ago. It does, like, the most helpful ones don't show up anymore. It tends to be the most recent ones. So what Chuck might be right. It wouldn't surprise me if they were giving some extra weight to the newer reviews.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm going to do a, I'll have to report on this. I have a Kindle Countdown deal scheduled for not this week, but the following week, which will be interesting. So that's basically Kindle lets you they give you a 7-day, every quarter, if you're in the Kindle Unlimited program, which we are, you get a 7-day promotion where you can drop your price to 99 cents and still get the 70% commission rate instead of the 30%. And then you end up going on all these daily deals sites. And then every so often you bump your price up by $1. So we're going to go down to 99 cents and get promoted everywhere. And then after like 42 hours, it goes up to $1.99. Then it goes up to $2.99. And there's a countdown timer on Amazon. So it adds like an interesting scarcity element. You can see like how much time you have left before the price goes up.
Goes up by $1.
Yeah. Yes. Well, you would not believe it, but yes, that makes a huge difference.
Well, it probably does. We've done countdown timers. So, we know they work.
Yep. Yeah. So I'll be we'll see how that. We've been averaging like around 15 to 20, somewhere in the 15 to 20 books per day on the Kindle side, and that's been pretty steady. We were at like more like.
What's the Kindle versus you guys profit like? Well, or
70%.
We get 70.
Yeah. So. Yeah, and it's extremely price sensitive. So we tested at $2.99. $2.99 gets us the most sales by far, but we only get the profit or with the amount of money we get. It's most profitable at $4.99, which I came to that conclusion, and then Amazon released a tool where they show you like the results of other people's price testing, and $4.99 is basically the sweet spot for Kindle, because it maximizes sales versus profit. And then if you go below like $2.99, basically, I think it increased our sales by about 50% over $4.99, but that wasn't enough to
make up. So it's the same $29 break point and $49 break point and $99 break point, $2.99, $14.99.
So on Amazon, I think it's like $4.99 is one. I think $9.99 is one. $19.99 seems to be one. $29.99.
Dude, this is crazy. Like, dude, we're operating in multiples of 10, but it's the same thing, right? 29, 49, 99, 199.
It's crazy how $1 makes a difference though in the pricing too. It's like people send me like Kindle daily deals or like all the time, and I'm like, no, I don't give a shit about a Kindle daily deal. You know why? Because reading a book represents like 6 hours of my life. Yeah. So I'm not gonna read a shitty book because it's on sale, and waste 6 hours of my life as opposed to paying $20 for a book that is actually valuable. So,
I get new authors on Amazon like constantly sending me. Like, hey, by the way, you can get my book for free if you only review it. I'm like, are you fucking crazy? Like, I'm going to review your book and spend like 10 hours of my life to do that. I'm like, hey, get back to me when you have 100 reviews, then we'll talk.
Yep.
I have people reach out to me for that too, and I just tell them, look, you can send me the book. I make no promises because I'm busy. So if I get enough whatever, kind of support to do it, then I'll do it. But
Yeah, I don't even want them to send the book because then there's this like inbuilt like, hey, so what now, or something. I'd much rather just like do it when you have that many reviews. Then I know it's something legit. Now I can actually look into it.
Yep.
I'm gonna start a
That's
new
fair.
YouTube channel called "Shit That People Sent Me," and I'm not gonna. So I'm gonna like get people to send me shit, and then I'm not gonna use it or anything. I'm just gonna open it, and I was like, "This is some kind of fucking standing desk thing. This is like a ball that you squeeze between your butt cheeks to make them stronger."
You'll have to show people how to do that.
No demos. It's just mentioning. This fucking author. He thinks he's the next. He compared himself to Deepak Chopra, except his book only has 1 star and 1 review on Amazon. But here it is.
Wow.
I don't think people will be very inclined to send you stuff when you do that.
They will though. They totally will.
I'm taking it camping with me, and it's not coming back with me.
Just for the mention, just for the little bit of cheese.
There you go.
Awesome.
That might be the new angle, John, to grow the channel.
Yeah. People like to be fucking humiliated and harassed and told that they're a piece of shit. This is the thing. If you want to create popular content on YouTube, I forgot about this. This is what I should do, is actually just all you have to do is create content that says you're a fucking lazy bitch, right? That's it. That's like the #1 thing. And then anything else you can do to humiliate or harass people, that's what they like. That's
Pretty much Grant Cardone has built a business out of that.
Yeah.
Dude, I cannot believe his emails are still coming, man. I have probably marked them spam 5 different times now. It's unbelievable. How's this happening?
He's unstoppable, man.
Huh.
Marking stuff spam just means send me more.
He cannot be stopped by an unsubscribe link, man.
Wow, unbelievable. That's just so unethical, man. Unbelievable.
Let me tell you who's Relentless. Relentless is Canadian Pharmacy. That's who's Relentless. They're fucking crazy ass. They're still calling my ass. Right there, I one time made the mistake of trying to order a Viagra. Right, I was like, oh, I should try it. You know, it's like it's better than trying cocaine for But I was like, oh, let's see what Viagra. Right? So I'm like, oh fuck, I'm gonna order some Viagra. So I went online. I'm like, all right, go check it out. Make 1 order. These fuckers for the last 7 years, they call me every single day, every day. Now it's my Google Voice number, so I just block numbers when they come in. But it's insane.
Wow.
Insane, but like how much, and I've tried everything. I actually got them to stop calling for a while because I would get on the phone with them and I'd be like, yeah, I'd like to order $5,000 worth. And they're like, oh, very good, sir. And I'm like, oh yes, you need my credit card number? Like, yeah, okay. 1, 2, 3, 6, 6, 6, 6. Oh, it didn't go through. Let's try it again. I think I missed one of the digits, right? And I would just spend like, an hour on the phone with them, like, no, it has to be right. This has to be right. My grandma gave me this credit card number.
Rich, I just stole this credit card.
Yeah. And then and it's like, okay, well, call me back, and I'll have my credit card number ready. So did this whole charade. Finally, they stopped calling for like 6 months when I did that, but now it's back. It's like
there was change of ownership.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
hey, I'm gonna be back in a minute.
So I was sick most of this week. My wife was sick most of last week, and then.
Oh, so then yeah. Nice.
So that was fun. I still got a bunch of stuff done, and yeah.
Manny didn't mute, so the background noise periodically switches us to the guitar on the wall behind him, his empty seat.
I'm guessing that he had headphones, but he didn't have the mic coming through the headphones.
Yeah.
We got to school him on the proper audio etiquette.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that's really nice though is that I've been planning stuff out and just putting tasks into Asana and then assigning them to Michelle if I want her to do them. And what's funny is she started getting back to me on them. Okay, how do I do this one? and then getting it done. It's been so nice.
Oh, nice. So wait, you're putting your own stuff in there and she's picking it up?
So I've been putting stuff in Asana, and I'm like, you know what? This is something Michelle can do. So I just assigned it to her.
Oh,
And
nice.
she gets back to me. I don't know how to do this. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, let me give you access to this account and show you how it gets done. So
Nice.
it's pretty sweet. So yeah, I'm super happy with that.
Nice.
And it's just been a matter of getting the layout for the website back together and stuff like that. I've also had a whole bunch of people get a hold of me, and they're like, I'm trying to subscribe to the React show on Overcast. It's always Overcast. A couple people on Apple Podcasts, but everybody's using Overcast. And I can't find it. And I'm like, okay, well, here's the deal. I had to go research this. But it turns out that Overcast uses iTunes podcast directory to look up podcasts.
Okay.
And iTunes hasn't approved the podcast yet.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so you can go subscribe with the RSS URL, or you can go listen to it on the website, but you can't look it up in Overcast because it hasn't been approved yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so after like the 20th person asked me, I finally tweeted, and then because a lot of them were coming in like DMs on Twitter.
Okay.
So I tweeted and then pinned it. I'm like, here's your answer. But yeah.
Nice.
But yeah, being sick has been no fun. I was gonna finish that getting a job course, like finish re-recording it, and I had no voice for 3 days.
Oh yeah, that's kind of a deal breaker.
Yeah, it sucks. So. Anyway, we got a good view of Manny walking around the restaurant.
Sorry, guys. Hey, by the way, see the view?
Nice. Where are you?
At the University Club here in downtown San Diego.
Oh, okay. Nice.
So my whole week has just been being sick and doing the planning and stuff. So yeah, it's amazing how much I'm able to get done when I can delegate a lot of it.
When you can't get out of it?
No, when I delegate it.
So I've been working on basically continuing my SEO my SEO work here. So yeah, the update on the, it seems like doing the pruning that I did, the content pruning seems to have improved things quite a bit. So I got the pretty links we had set to do not follow, no index, and then also a bunch of the older blog content that wasn't generating any traffic. And that seems, it's really hard to quantify, but we had a bunch that some of the keywords that I've been tracking jumped up to #1 spot from 4, 5, 6, jumped all the way up to 1. And then it seems like overall our traffic's up by about 25%. So between the pretty link, or the URL change to get rid of the date, and the de-indexing of a lot of the older content, that seems to have really worked. So I was actually talking to Joe, the automation guy from the Entre Programmers group today, about it, and recommending to him that he do the same thing. If you've got a few years worth of content, it's probably worth trimming down. That seems to have really helped. Manny, is there any way you could mute? That's really loud.
I was going to ask you, do you have your mic? Are you using the mic on the laptop, or are you using the mic from the headset?
There we go.
Or do you have a mic?
No, I'm going to mute myself because there is no mic on the headset.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy you a mic with a headset with a mic in it.
Yeah, so that definitely was a big win. And so what I've been working on is I've been trying a few different outreach strategies. I'm going through the Brian Dean SEO course, and this week the content was all about outreach. And the techniques that he teaches are, the main technique is basically just doing like looking at looking for people that have published resource pages that are linking to similar content, or who do like have roundups where they republish other people's content, and reaching out to those folks and basically pitching, kind of pitching the article that you've published. And the problem is that so many people are doing that that you're getting like John, like I think Chuck, you've mentioned it. We get like between John probably gets 3 to 5 a day to his account. I know I get 1 or 2 a day at least to my Joshua Earl, and I don't even have like my joshuaearl.com site's not even that big. So there's a ton of noise, but I'm finding that if I can get through that and I can get people to reply, I'm having a very high success rate of actually getting the links. Like if I can get the reply, it might be like, I don't know, like a 50% yes. So it's pretty, so it's just getting that initial response from them is the biggest hurdle. So one thing I've been doing that's working well is most of those bad pitches that you get, just like they're spamming because they're just like putting the link right in there, and they're just like blasting that out to 1,000 websites at once. And so what I'm doing is I'm doing a 2-step approach where I'm reaching out to them, and I'm specifically talking about something that they did on their site, and then when asking them if it's okay if I send them the post. If they don't reply, then they don't move. I don't send them the post. I might have to find a way to go back and like ping them again later. But yeah, so then like when they reply to me, I'm getting a pretty high response rate actually to that 2-step approach, and I'm getting maybe like a 50% reply rate, and then from that, like I'm getting really positive reception. So I've gotten, I think I'm up to around 20 links now on this post that we published. I've been working at it for about a week, and I think I've got about 20 or so backlinks. I'm using, I decided to set up a tool because it was starting to get hard to track it. Chuck, are you using Pipedrive? Is that what you're using for? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, because I love me the Pipedrive. Yeah, I've been liking it too. I've tried every, again, like this CRM tools are the other between CRM tools and shopping carts. I've tried everything. But yeah, Pipedrive is pretty good because what it lets me do is I've got a pipeline for this, and I can put in just like the website name, the URL of the post that I want to get my link on, and then the person's name, and I don't even need their email address. That was a big deal because a lot of other CRM tools you need the email address, and I don't always have an email. Sometimes all I have is a contact form. So with Pipedrive, you can create input everything into the system without having an email address, and then I could actually hire an outsourced person to go out there and find me a good email address for the person. So yeah, that's been working really well. But nice. Yeah, the challenge I've been struggling with is, so I've tried several things that have worked pretty well, but I realized that they're kind of pointless because I can't scale them. So like one thing that worked really well was going back to people that had linked to Simple Programmer in the past and then reaching out through John's email account. That worked really, really well because they were already obviously they're already familiar with us. They know who John is, but I can't do that. I can't outsource that because I can't give anybody, I'm not going to give a freelancer access to John's email. So that was kind of pointless. I also realized that I reached out to Perfecto, who is one of our sponsors, and they were like giddy with the opportunity to link to this post. So, but that's not really scalable because if I outsource this, nobody else is going to know about that relationship necessarily. So what I've been trying to figure out is how can I systematize this so that it's not spammy, but also doesn't require my kind of like our tribal knowledge, and also like doesn't require a ton of programming related expertise.
I got one for you. Actually, with the Perfecto, I just thought of this.
Okay.
So you could reach out to big names, like big companies, right? And you can basically tell them, hey, look, we'll put a free plug in our email that goes out to 70,000 developers, or we'll put a free plug, like mention you on a blog post or throw up your banner ad, but probably the email will probably be most effective. And we'll say, we'll put a free banner ad in there. All that you have to do is just link to our post, right? And then you can get JetBrains, you can get like all the big guys, like of course they'll do it. Of course, like because they're going to get free, absolutely free advertising.
That's really good. I like that. Because okay, here's the challenge, because there's some controversy and uncertainty over whether exchanging backlinks is beneficial. So Google says that basically they cancel each other out.
If you link to them and they link to you.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you won't link to them.
That's what I'm saying.
That's email. What I'm saying.
Yeah. So email. I've also I realized that I can use social shares the same way. So one thing I've started doing is saying, hey, so when I'm talking to these folks, so they'll some of them will say, yeah, I'll link to it, and then I will I'll reply and I'll say, hey, that's awesome. Tell me when you've made the update, and I'll share your post. So that way they have an extra incentive to actually follow through on what they said they were going to do.
Exactly.
And they'll close the loop with me, so I can confirm that link was created. So I don't have to it should eliminate some of the need to go back and because I want to manually verify, figure out what percentage of people actually are, doing when they agree to create the link, what percentage are actually doing it. But I think I've got, so yeah, John, I love that. I'm going to definitely do that. That's because we have all the sponsorship space that we were having a hard time selling anyway. I mean, like the banner ads are a good example. Nobody wants to buy banner ads, but if they could get free banner ads, I'm sure they would take it.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
That's an interesting angle.
And it's not a backlink. It's not a backlink, right?
No.
So it's a temporary advertisement. So I love it. I'm going to do it. But I think I have figured out the system though that I'm going to try. I'm going to try this week and see what happens.
And you know what? You could even do that with bloggers, right? Because imagine, as a blogger, if I'm just a solo blogger, and you're like, I'm going to put a banner ad for your blog on my site, right? Or I'm going to send to my email list an ad for your blog. They're like, oh shit, yeah, definitely.
Well, and there's also an established market value for that.
Yeah.
I mean, because we can say, Java Code Geeks charges, $4 CPM or whatever. I can actually put a dollar figure to it.
And it's better than giving them money, right?
Yeah.
Well, actually, you got to kind of keep the money out of it. You want to make it a social a social contract instead of a monetary one, because again, the same thing. Think about it this way: if you turn the tables, if someone emails us and they're like, "Hey, we'll give you $500 if you'll link to our blog post," we're like, "Fuck off, get out of here," right? But if someone emailed us and they're like, "Hey, if you link to this blog post, which is a really good blog post, by the way, we have an email list where we have 70,000 developers. We'll mention this article of yours in our email, right? We'll promote it, or we'll promote your blog." We're like, yeah, let's do it, right?
Yep.
So even though it's really just a monetary thing, it can come down to it. You could equate it. So.
Well, I can do that with the remnant space too.
Yeah. That's awesome. All right. Totally doing that. So but what I'm thinking here, so one of the challenges of doing the outreach and making it not spammy is that there's a bunch of different strategies for so one way to do outreach is to go, hey, I was looking at this page and I noticed that you have a broken link. Would you like me to tell you what the broken links are? and then they'll reply, and then you get a conversation going. Another one is like they've got this resource page, and you say something about the resource page, and you say, hey, can I send you this article that might be a good fit? Another one is that they've got like they publish roundups of content. So they have Alvin Ashcroft does this with his is it Morning Dew or whatever, Dewdrop or whatever. No, it's Morning Brew, I think. So that's another one, and Peter Cooper is another one. So there's like 5 or 10 different kind of categories, and it's really hard to find. It's hard to figure out which. When you find a site, it's hard to figure out which of these approaches to use. It's time consuming. But what I think what I'm going to do is instead of trying to break it down by and figure out which of those strategies to use, I'm going to approach people, and this is what I was talking to John about before we jumped on the call, but I'm going to approach people and basically say, hey, look, I'm putting together a list of bloggers who are experts on automation testing. So like for Joe's post, would you like to be included in that list? And they are going to reply. I'm going to probably get, I think, a 50 to 80% response to that email.
Yeah. And
then once they reply, then I'm gonna I'll get them into the conversation. Then I'll be like, hey, we just published this blog post about automation testing, and I'm going to go to once they reply, then it's worth doing the research to go look at their site, because you've eliminated half the waste, right? Because half the people aren't going to reply to you, but for the ones that do, you go to their site and you go, okay, is there an article that they have where a link would make sense, or do they have a resource page, or how could I ask them? I'm finding that when I ask people a very specific, I was looking at this article, I think if you in this paragraph, if you put the link right here, that would actually add value, right? And it's not spammy. And people seem to be very willing to do that. It's basically just I'm setting up a yes or no decision for them, and they don't have to go hunt for a place to put the link in. So when I get people to reply and give me permission to put them on this list of content creators that I'm putting together, then I'll reply and tell them about the article and see if I can get them to link to it. But in the meantime, I'm building a list of bloggers, because the other objective I have is to get a lot more guest contributors, so that we can pick and choose and say, I want to publish a blog post about JavaScript interview questions. If I have 100 people that have expertise in JavaScript, now I have my pick on my choice of 100 people that could potentially create that blog post. So I'm building a list of content creators who already have platforms, and then almost incidentally, I'm able to also get them to. I'm also going to use that to build backlinks. So, and then when we have content when we produce some new content about that topic, I can do a segmented mailing to that list and ask them to share it, or, whatever. So I think this could kill it. Kind of eliminates the problem of getting the conversation started, because part of the problem is when you approach someone about linking to you, how do you provide value without seeming spammy? Right. By asking them, hey, by telling them you're an expert, I want you to be in this list. That's pretty flattering. Mm-hmm. And I think that I'm going to get a pretty good reception to that right off the bat. And I'm kind of providing value there. It's flattering, and I'm potentially giving them a platform that they could publish on. So I think I'm going to get a really good response to that. And then I think that they'll be pretty willing to take the next step and actually link to this stuff. So I'm going to give that a shot this week. I'll probably do 20 or 30 outreach emails and see what kind of response I get. But yeah, I can with this. The nice thing about it is I can totally outsource this, or at least the initial part. I can outsource the research, because I can tell somebody, okay, go to Udemy, get me a list of everyone who has published a course about JavaScript, get me a good email address for them, and then I could have them put that person in the pipe drive and send out that initial email. And then I can do, maybe I can follow up with them after that initially, and then I could train someone to do the follow-up. But yeah, it pretty much eliminates like a lot of the segmentation issues and the thinking that is required to make this outsourceable. So I don't know. I'm thinking I'm gonna give it a try this week. I'm thinking I'm gonna get a 50 to 80% response on that first email, and then I'll probably be able to add for every 10 emails, I'll probably get 3 or 4 people who want to be on the content creators list, and probably 2 or 3 of them will be willing to share a link to the post. So, yeah. Anyway, that's my plan.
Yeah, I think it's solid. And it's one of those things that builds up over time, right? So, like the more that you do it, it's not just a one-time benefit. Like as you grow that list, that
everyone approaches SEO. This is the thing. There's so much waste in backlink building because everyone approaches it as a one-time thing. No one's thinking about building a list.
Right.
So basically, what I'm doing by basically building the list first, I'm eliminating. So we're putting in all this work to find people, find their email addresses. That's not wasted.
Right. Exactly.
Whereas like the way that most people do it, it's pretty much wasted. Like you do it again every time you pick up a new post to promote. So, and then this will allow me to get a pretty high quality list of potential contributors. Like if I had 5 or 10,000, Pluralsight authors, Udemy, Udemy authors, top bloggers. If I had a list of 5 or 10,000 of those folks, that would be pretty freaking valuable. It's gonna really insulate us from competition.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the plan.
Nice.
I think if there's anything else interesting this week, I am going to go ahead and do the Clever Programmer affiliate deal. Probably not this coming week, but probably the following week. So that will be very interesting. So it's going to be a $400 offer. So if we get a decent uptake on it, Manny, you're muted if you're talking to me.
What's the discount?
$100. So $497 down to $397. So we'll see how that works.
Nice.
Yeah, I think the only issue with that is that people won't know what the value is. Like, so when we did the Pluralsight offer, people knew what the standing value of a Pluralsight subscription was. So like the discount there was huge because we were like, oh shit, I know what this costs. But with the Clever Programmer offer, they have no way of knowing if the $100 off, like there's no anchor, right? So like $100 off they don't know what he really normally sells it for. They don't know if it's actually worth that. They don't know if it's just like saying it's $100 off, but that's really the full price. So that's the only concern I have with that is that, I don't know, but maybe it matters. Maybe $200 off wouldn't matter either. So maybe it's the price point. So
yeah, it's definitely a high price point. So, but we did have, one thing that is interesting about this is I can kind of position it as a mini boot camp for full stack web development because that's really what he's building. Yeah. And we just had like 5,000 people click on a boot camp thing when we did the Thinkful promotion, and then tell us that they would have done it, but it was too expensive or they didn't have time. So, I think that's pretty good indication. One other interesting thing was Stack Overflow's career, their programmer survey came out this week. And one of the things I pulled out of that was interesting was that most people take boot camps after they already have a programming job. At least of the survey respondents, most of the people who'd done a boot camp did it after they'd gotten their first programming job to learn more. I would not have guessed that. I would have thought if you had a job, like to me, the point of a boot camp is to get your first job, but that's apparently not how people are using it.
Right.
You know what I got from the Stack Overflow survey? Genderqueer. It was a new vocabulary word for me. I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Genderqueer.
What the hell?
It's like
queer sounds bad.
No,
And
this
mixed
is a
with
good.
gender, it sounds really bad.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing to be genderqueer. It's the same as non-binary. So it's a catch-all for gender identities, not
Is
exclusively.
that saying you're not male or female?
Yeah, like you're somewhere like a mixed around like kind of thing. So
how's that a good thing?
I think it's good that John's expanding his vocabulary.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That might be the only good thing coming out of that.
Oh man.
They have a flag. They actually have a genderqueer pride flag. It's purple. I'm not making this shit up. Look on Wikipedia, damn it. I'm not making this shit up. It's purple, white, and green. That's the genderqueer flag. There's a non-binary pride flag, which is yellow, white, purple, and black. And there's a gender fluid pride flag, which is pink, white, purple, black, and blue.
It has more colors because it's more fluid.
How do you think Stormy Daniels can maximize the amount of money she can make from this publicity campaign?
Oh, man.
Oh, let's not go there.
I mean, it's a legitimate marketing / question. Like, publishing a book will only get you so much money. Can you sell a course or something?
Of course.
You've got a connection for her there, Manny. So
there you go. You'll review the book for her, huh?
I'll review the book.
Yeah, you should review the book. Get her on your YouTube channel.
I'll get her on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
We're quickly sliding into thoughts here. So
yeah. Oh man.
All right, we just lost all the genderqueer subscribers. Sorry, guys.
Damn it, John. I want both of them back. Oh, my thought, if we're gonna head that way, I can kind of see Josh thinking, please head that way. So yeah, my thought is that I've been planning out the next 12 weeks, and been putting all this stuff into Asana, and then the thing that I've been doing to do the rest of the planning is so I have them all split up into the different projects. And then I've been tagging them with a tag for each week of the next 12 weeks, kind of along the 12-week year. And then I'll probably go stick stuff into my calendar. But it's been really nice just to kind of see what all of the steps are in order to get to where I want to be at with all of the things I have going on. And I have a whole list of projects. I probably have like 15 different projects. Some of them are rather small and some of them are personal, but things that I want to get done over the next 12 weeks. And so it's been nice to break that out. And then also just to think about, okay, do I have to do this? And then when the answer is no, is okay, well then I'm going to assign it to Michelle and then work out how to train her on how to do it. And that's been really, really nice. The other thing that's been nice about it is that she has been updating the standard operating procedures for me. So she needed more information in one of them. And she's like, so I added this table with more information to one of the manuals. Is that okay? I'm like, yeah, that's great. When you do it, let me know, and I'll just make sure that all the information there is, correct. And but yeah, so it's been awesome, just getting all that together. And yeah, a lot of this stuff is happening without me needing to think about it, like having people scheduled for podcasts and stuff. And then yeah, just some of the other coordination things that I've been putting on the website have been getting done, which is also really cool. So anyway, so yeah, just planning and then knowing the plan and delegating. I don't know if there's a real thought there, but there you go.
For me, it's actually been a little bit similar to that in that. So I'm used to operating in like hustler mode, where I'm the one doing, whatever it is. And so I've had to really fight that with promoting this, this automation testing blog post, and resist doing, like, there's a lot of things that I know that I could do that are actually pretty easy that would help me rank this thing. But I'm actually like deliberately, putting handcuffs on myself and not letting myself do the easy stuff to try to force myself into thinking about ways that I could tackle this if I didn't have all the resources. Because like those constraints, that's what someone else is going to have. I can't hire. I could easily get this post to the top of Google and have it be not at all really beneficial other than the additional traffic. I wouldn't be building out a system for repeatedly doing this. And that's really, so what I've had to do is I've actually had to intentionally create some space where, like, I'm limiting myself. Like I'm not taking on any projects that are outside of the scope of this SEO. I am going to do this. I'm saying that, and then I am going to do this affiliate promotion. But I've been really limiting the number of projects that I take on that are outside of the scope of that, because this has been like really difficult to think about, and I'm having to work through it myself. But I'm trying. I have to do it under these constraints, and it's forcing me to be a lot more creative about how I could tackle this. And I think I'm pretty close to. Having it. So it's been well worth it. But yeah, I mean, like, I guess the thought is you have to create space for yourself so that you can step out of the mode of just doing and think about it at a different level, so that you can build the system. Because that's like it's just a whole different mindset to be in.
Let me see. I think mine, I'd have to say, I'm kind of flip-flop on this, but I'm thinking about this concept of, like, sometimes you just can't fight who you are, right? And I've been trying to, like, chillax a little bit, and it's just like, I just been depressed doing that, and I'm not really motivated to, like, do anything leisurely. And I was trying to cut off on some of the fitness stuff and stop the running. And as I'm taking more and more stuff off my plate, it's having the opposite of effect, right? And so I'm like, I was in a coaching call this week, and one of my coaching clients was like, basically saying, like, John, you're kind of like, you're just like attack shit. Like, you're a bulldog. Like, you, I forget what words he used. He didn't use bulldog, but he used some other, thing. And,
so this guy's paying you to coach you. That's a nice gig. I would like to get that kid.
No, he was just mentioning, because he was doing something similar, and I just kind of realized, I was like, oh, maybe that's like true. Maybe it's like I really just have to go and just go full bore into everything. Like I keep on telling myself, you need to stop this. You need to stop this obsession with just like going crazy, like. Never like living yourself any time and just going crazy with everything and just all the time attacking everything. And maybe that's not the answer. Maybe I just have to accept the fact that that's just like, that's where I thrive, is I thrive in the chaos of just like, just going crazy, like doing extreme shit. So I'm thinking again, but I don't know. But it's like a pendulum, right? It swings back and forth, and hopefully you move in the Z direction as you're going forward, as you learn more things about yourself. So, so next week I'm probably going to go back to my crazy ass routine and start running every morning at 6:30, and going back to the kickboxing, and I'm going to see how that feels, right? And just see, like, but yeah. So I don't know. So I guess like the lesson I'm learning is you can't fight your nature to some degree. Like there's certain things that, like, you just have to learn how to live with rather than try to change. But
I think you just need a bigger mailman to attack, John. You're a bulldog. Yeah. You got bored. The little 99-pound weakling mailman you mauled him pretty good, and now you just need a bigger mailman.
Yeah.
That might be. I mean, I think about it like doing like really big things, and I think I don't really have the energy for it right now. Like I don't feel like it, so I'm not like super motivated to do it. But I don't know.
You can't manufacture that though. Like something's gonna catch you. I think that's the tricky part is right now. Like you don't know what that is, but I think something's gonna ignite that spark, and then you're gonna go for it.
That's what I've been kind of waiting for.
Yeah, a simple programmer didn't you didn't just go sit down one day and go, yeah, I'd really like to have a website, and like, I mean, it was just you like to teach programmers, and talk about Agile and all that stuff, and it just sort of happened from there. So
that's true. Yeah, I mean, same thing with the YouTube channel, I suppose. So, but but in the meantime, I can't just sit on my ass. I have to bust ass. So
I think partly the challenge is not just the physical thing. I don't think it's the physical thing, though that is a part of who you are. Maybe also consider the fact that you're playing with the devil right now, because as Napoleon Hill talks about and outwitting the devil within. When you have empty space, then you don't have that something that you're going after pretty aggressively. It literally is the devil's playground, because you have that emptiness available to you to fuck around, to chill out, in some ways, to not do stuff. And that can be dangerous. So having a purpose, having a sense of mission kind of keeps you on track. But when you lose that it's not just a physical thing. I don't think it's just a physical thing. It's a bigger thing.
No. Yeah.
It's more of the fact that you're, that sense of purpose is not the same as you used to have with the business. So now you need to find a different sense of purpose or different thing, but can't just have like a vacuum and try to manufacture this in different ways. You need to be driven by something.
Exactly. So, yeah. No, that's exactly right. Yeah.
You're drifting. You're drifting, as Napoleon Hill likes to say, right? And the drift is the challenge. Because even though you're doing your YouTube channel, it's not like you're not like, nobody's saying, John, you must make money tomorrow. You must accomplish this certain goal tomorrow, right? You don't have specific business goals that were big, that were exciting back in the days. And I know for a while you were like, I don't want to have any goals. I just want to be free. I just want to chill out. But that's the side effect of chill out, that you get into these modes where you're like, fuck, man, what am I doing with my life? Like, I'm depressed. I'm blah, blah, blah. So.
Well, and to see what I think it is, like, as I'm discovering this, is that there's like a balance. There's almost like, I talked about last time about like being dragged by the horse or being on the saddle. Mm-hmm. And it's not, the difference is the mindset in it, and like why you're doing something. So, for instance, like, when I was doing all this crazy shit, with the physical fitness, and I was, working hard on these things. Part of it, I was doing it, like I said, to prevent the fear. It was like the fear of loss. Like, I don't want to lose, but, and the same thing with working in the business and whatnot, and in the YouTube channel and all that. But, having the free, like when you have the freedom, when I'm like, okay, when I'm in this, I guess when I'm in the place where I'm like, okay, I don't have to do this, but this is what I'm doing this because this is where I thrive, then it's a little bit of a different thing. Then it's like, okay, if I want to take a day off one day, then I'll just take a day off, right? Like having that, almost that freedom of being able to say that and to think that in your head makes the reasoning, the why, different, right? And that is what makes the difference. So there's almost like, like I tried one mode, which is like, make everything life or death. Everything is fucking life or death. You must do this. You cannot fail. You must do this, right? And that mode is effective for reaching goals, for sure, right? I mean, I've definitely been successful doing that. But then I tried this other mode that's like, you don't have to do anything. Like just live, just be free, just like, kumbaya, right? And that's no
None
good.
of that
That's
started
like,
until you moved to California, by the way.
That's
I'm blaming the saltwater air there.
It's the Southern California lifestyle.
but the balance between the two is somewhere, I think, where it's like, where you're able to, still work hard, still have the thing that you're thriving for, that you're going for, right? And thrive in that environment, but at the same time, be able to like relax into it as you're doing it, right? So that it's not life or death, but at the same time, you know, and it's this like it's this goal that you aim for that you'll never attain, but understanding, I think, seeing the purpose, like seeing that why that's the case, and you can't really see that until you go to either extreme, right, or both extremes. Like when you go to both extremes, then you start to see, oh, wait a minute, hold on, like there was a reason why this worked, but this was not optimal, and there's a reason why this didn't work, and this was not optimal either. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm going to figure it out, right? So that's what I have to figure out is how to, because what I was doing before was not sustainable. From a not necessarily from a physical or even a energy standpoint, but from a motivational standpoint. Like you can't just keep on hitting it hard and make everything life or death. And the reason why you do it is because it's life or death, right? It's like your adrenaline gland eventually, like your you know what your thyroid is or whatever, is pituitary gland. Is that adrenaline, right? That's it.
Maybe there is also something beyond life or death and something beyond our own thing. Maybe now you are at a point where you can think of, okay, well, maybe I do it for a bigger purpose, for a bigger cause. Maybe that's, part of the calling at this point, because you've already kind of like sort of taken care of the basics, and you're like, yeah, that stuff is not exciting anymore. I'm not really, that's not motivating. But if you're doing it for beyond yourself, that's a much bigger purpose that can drive you rather than just a purpose of trying to make more money or something like that.
To me, I see something like Bill Gates and his malaria crusade. you know, something big like that. That I'm sure he wakes up every morning. That's a pretty big problem to go after.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a balance of being able to keep your freedom, but then also to drive in the right direction. So,
dude, okay. So there's I told you about this, right? I went to the seminar called Underground online seminar. Yannick Silver used to put it. So Craig Ballantyne was speaking one morning. Craig Ballantyne, Early to Rise.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, so he was speaking one morning at 8, and most sessions only started at 9. Like every day it was 9, but this day it was 8. So I'm like, fuck, man, who wants to go to a seminar at 8? But I still went there. I sat down, started listening, and the guy's like, structure leads to freedom.
Yeah, it's true.
So you cannot, you have to have both. You cannot have one without the other, because you will lose it. Right? Without structure, there is very little freedom, because your mind will become the fucking devil's playground. But having the structure actually leads, it's paradoxes, right? We're living in the paradox of life, and so we're living in the yin and yang. So if you just try to go for wanting freedom so bad, but then, if we lose the structure, it fucks up our freedom too.
Exactly. No, it's very true. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, okay. My turn?
Yeah, that was a good thought.
That was a lot of thoughts. That was my thought, right? Structure leads to freedom.
There you go.
That was my,
Drop the mic. Only Manny doesn't have a mic, so he can't do that.
Drop the computer.
Yeah, so we need to get you a mic, Manny.
Oh my God. It's a constant problem.
All right. I think we're good.
Yep. All right. I'll see you guys next week.
Awesome.
All right.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Wanna start a business, but you just know how to code.